up, everybody? This discussion is dedicated to anyone out there who thought I was just going to be going nuts about cargo shorts today. So, it has been a very sobering Saturday so far, as I've found a new website to bookmark for comparing CPUs and GPUs. Now, I've known about these generated sites that are kind of screwing with Google's results. If you search for two CPUs, you might see a generated site like CPU Boss. It's a comparison site with some database probably running in the background that generates when you go there and pick two processors or graphics processors to compare. So, I've been seeing those for quite some time, but there's a new website we'll get to that does both CPUs and GPUs, aggregates everything, and shows bar charts and standardized stuff for all of it. So I'm going to be bookmarking this thing. Now, some of you have very astutely pointed out that the Kepler generation GTX 760 that I've been running in the main system is probably holding me back gaming-wise. But I was in denial. I was in serious denial as to whether the 760 really was getting that bad. The unfortunate truth of the matter is, yes, it is. I was originally planning on picking up a GTX 1070 or an RX 480, depending on whether I went Team Red or Team Green. But thanks to this aggregator site with all this data and bar charts and stuff like that, even the crap-ass bottom barrel current generation, hi Fly! Yeah, I left the attic open, a couple of bugs got in. Oops! I gotta close the attic when I turn off the fans at night. Whatever. Because again, I slept in today, so... oh, he's on the camera! Get away, you piece... Get up! Must be attracted to the light. Whatever. Yeah. Now he's going to be bothering me the rest of the video. I'm going to go swat that bastard after we finish this discussion. Anywho, so I was in total denial, but even a bottom barrel crap-ass current generation entry-level card will actually be way better than my 760. What a difference a couple of years makes. But then again, the 760, I may be in denial as to how much time has actually gone by. The 760 is from the layoff period. I picked that up during the warehouse fiasco. Time flies when your technology is aging, especially when things have gotten a lot more focused on things like efficiency and stuff like that. So, we're looking at Newegg. Yeah, hi Newegg. Anyways, here Newegg actually has a couple of SKUs of some of the new stuff in stock, finally. Yes! One of them in particular is this RX 470, the Sapphire Nitro, for just $200. Cool. A break from the Gougerama that's been going on. And the fun part is, I was looking at one of the 1070s earlier, the new ones that have just come back in stock are coming back in stock at a lower price. So the hype shortage may be coming to an end, but I really don't feel... But most of that's going to be on the high-end stuff. The stuff where there's more competition, like 1060 versus RX series, we're going to see the prices drop sooner because, wow, competition. But keep an eye on this Sapphire Nitro RX 470. So I suppose I should keep that in mind, I should say, because this is the bottom barrel piece of junk that's actually, I've since found out, is still better than what I have. Okay, let's look at this website that I've got such glowing things to say about. hwbench.com. You type in two GPUs or two CPUs, and bravissimo, you get something like this. So here's the 1060 versus my 760. So bottom barrel, today's generation, versus what I've been rolling with since the warehouse fiasco. Gaming Performance Index. Dun, dun, dun. And of course they have the usual comparison and recommendation. And then all the numbers for the nerds, which we like. Or at least I do. If you're not a nerd and you're watching this, hey, thanks for giving us nerds a chance. So, fabrication process, blobbity blobbity blah, there goes the computer. Another thing I gotta fix. This thing gets like Windows 98 sometimes. There's something, it's either with the memory or with Google Chrome or something. I gotta figure out what's causing that. I had a couple of blue screens before like that. Maybe I'll do a scan for malware. Anyways, 1060 versus 760. Here we go. Now we're getting into pixels, texels, memory bandwidth, performance, and then game benchmarks. I have it at 1080p because I'm running this TV into the ground, so I'm not going to be going beyond 1080p anytime soon, but even at 1080p, and this is a so-called bottom barrel card. It gets even more sobering when you move forward to that RX 470, like that $200 Sapphire. Pitiful, 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 how I've been in denial of just how quickly this stuff has aged over the last few years, which makes me wonder if I should just get what'll run at 1080p and stop, because I don't really plan on playing with anything bigger than 1080p anytime soon. This is the crap card right there, $200, RX 470, the Sapphire Nitro. That's what these bars are for. Oh man. Yeah. So, point taken. I was in denial about how much the stuff that I was using was getting old and probably holding me back in terms of gaming. Forget Monolith. The best thing I could do right now is get a proper GPU. Monolith we can worry about until the parts are at decent prices and I feel like actually picking that stuff up. But for now, just to keep going, I've decided to go with a GTX 1060 Asus card. I like Asus hardware. I've been a big fan of it over the years. First motherboard was Asus and stuff like that. But the big reason why I like this card is that the big cooler is rounded. It's rounded in the corners, plus double HDMI, so I could theoretically take the broken sound card out of here, whose real-time encoders keep causing problems for me. I gotta dump all that creative software, but I could just dump my sound card entirely with this and go double HDMI. One goes to the television, one goes to the AV receiver, then do then do duplicate output, then do duplicate this display so I can have my sound to the AV receiver over HDMI, and then the graphics go out as normal, just make the TV the main display. But I won't have to buy an adapter to go from DisplayPort to HDMI like I sadly did last week for my Kepler card. But the big thing is, right over there by where it plugs in, this is rounded. Now, in Tuxedo right now, it's not exactly a case that's anywhere close to being of this generation. It's quite outdated and not worth buying. For those of you that are still hounding me about, where can I get a case like that? You don't want it. Believe me. What I like about this is there's a pinch point in my case right about here. That's where we had all that trouble with the serial ATA cables. So a rounded cooler that doesn't jut to the edge could give me some options in terms of, because I've had problems, my Kepler card is actually warping because of the pressure from the cables in the pinch point right around here. So the cooler is actually being pushed a bit, and the card doesn't sit straight in the socket anymore because of just pressure for a couple of years. So having some room around here in my very room-challenged, outdated case, at least until I build Monolith, would be a great thing for the complete lack of cable management that case has, because there's none built in. So I'm going to go GTX 1060 to stay on Team Green because of my familiarity with and overall I'm impressed with the GeForce Experience software and things like that. We'll go GTX 1060 because even the crap cards are better than what I have. I'm not playing with 4K anytime soon. And the GTX 1070 isn't going to get down anywhere near its MSRP anytime soon. Plus, it might even be overkill because I'm staying in 1080p for the foreseeable future, with no plans to go beyond it. And this is the interesting part, because I don't have a problem with gaming in 1080p still, versus whatever the other stuff is, 4K and that one in the middle. I don't have a problem with sticking with this because I'm running this TV into the ground. I don't mind sticking with 1080p. What that means though is that graphics cards, I'm going to need less and less in order to be able to run all my games at 60 FPS to match the 1080-60 television. So this should be interesting. I've stuck it out long enough that the cheap stuff is eventually going to do everything I want. Makes me wonder about CPUs and whether I might actually get the quad-core 8-thread Zen processor as well. Because if I'm staying with 1080p for now, and the most intense thing I'm doing is gaming, and I'm not commercially making videos, so mathematical capability for crunching video doesn't need to be the best in the world, it's cool, actually. The cheap stuff's actually going to do it for me in terms of giving me a good gaming experience. Probably because I'm not shallow, like, oh my goodness, I got to buy a 4K TV right now, because everybody else out there is buying one. That was Commonwealthish. Drifted from British to Australian. Whatever. So, yes, finally, I can buy something! Woohoo! Here's to hoping that the DIY PC industry can get their supply chain issues sorted out, because holiday humbug season's coming. But yeah, ASUS! Let's pick up this card and see what it does, even for an aging relic like Tuxedo. MultimediaJay out.